In this lesson, we're going to talk about some funk chords. So oftentimes when you're playing funk, you're going to be jamming over maybe just one chord a lot of the times. You know, let's take E7 for example. You know, something like that. So we want to be able to add some flavor to that. So in this lesson, we're going to study a bunch of different ways to play a dominant 7 chord. We're going to use E as the example. So you can kind of create some movement within these jams. So the first one I want to show you, you know, if you're playing the blues much, you're going to recognize this chord shape for a dominant 7 chord. So I got third finger here on the 4th fret, first finger on the 3rd fret, 4th fret with my 2nd finger. We use that a lot in the blues. Right? But if you bar the 2nd fret, D, G, B, and high E strings, and then play it like that, you can get the E root note in there and get a little bit fuller chord. So now I'm barring, it's 2nd fret, 3rd fret, B string, 2nd finger, 3rd fret, B string, 3rd finger, 4th fret, G string, pinky, 4th fret, high E string. And you get that chord. And within this chord now, we can do some different stuff with our pinky. We can go up here and change this to the 5th fret, and that gives us a sus4 chord. We can lift it and get that note where our first finger's barring and get a sus2 chord. So we can add some movement within the chord. So if we're jamming on this, like that, okay? So, and in funk a lot of times you can slide up to your chord from a half step behind. That's going to add some movement too. The other thing with funk too, if you don't know, you always keep your finger or your strum hand going like that. And then you're just accenting certain ones of those strums, but in between you're always doing the scratches of the dead notes. Okay, so that's the first kind of different position. And in the tab, I just have the different, you know, different chord shapes there. So you can practice whatever rhythm and you know, arrangement of however you want to accent this or add the sus4 and sus2 in there. You know, you can do something like that. The possibilities are really endless, especially when you know all these different voicings and chord shapes. The other thing I want to mention too is in funk, most of the time the guitar player is playing on the higher strings. That's why we're not studying, you know, this is an E7 as well, a full E7. You're not going to hear that chord used a lot in funk. Because funk is so heavy with the bass. The bass guitar has such a prominent role. You don't want to play these lower strings and get in the way of the groove of the bass and the drums. The guitar player in funk's role usually is to stay up higher. Like something like that, okay? All right, so that's that voicing. Then we're going to go to, everybody knows this E9 shape. Comes from E7 here, but if you bar the 7th fret with your 3rd finger, the E, B, and G strings, and first finger here and 2nd finger there, you get an E9 chord. You can add your pinky a whole step up and get a 13. I think we've gone over this before, but you don't need the whole chord. You could just do it like this. So we're just omitting the root note that's here. So you can just play it like that, and then you can, it's a little easier to reach. So you got your 9 chord here, you add your pinky here, you got your 13, you go up here, and you're back to your 7, your flat 7 for your dominant 7 chord. So you can get this line going. So you can create a little melody, a little line to go there. So that's the other one, okay? So now, let's take a look at another one, which is right here. So this shape comes from a dominant 7 shape like this. We may have done that one before too. Or same thing with our 9. It's all, but I'm just changing my fingers up to grab this note back here. Well, if you switch this around a little bit, so our root note's still right here, 7th fret of the A string. If you switch this around a little bit, you can get the high E string in there. It's still a E7 or E dominant 7 chord. So I got 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the D string, 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the G string, 1st finger on the 5th fret of the B string, pinky on the 7th fret of the high E string. So this is a nice voicing too. Where we can move is sliding our 2nd finger up to the 7th fret. And then slide back. It adds some movement. So you can create some stuff there. And that again is creating the sus4 chord. That's another option that you have. And then I believe I have one more for you. Yeah, this. Okay, so this is going to come. So we're all the way up the neck now. This comes from the E9 chord voicing that has the root on the low E string. So if you do like this. We use this in blues some, jazz more. So it's there, 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 and there. It's kind of hard to squeeze in way up here. But we don't need those lower notes, so it's really just here. You've seen this shape. So if we're playing an E blues, something like that. So it's just a same as this shape, but we're down a string and up here 12th fret, 11th fret, 12th fret. D, G, and B strings. Now if you add your pinky onto the high E string on the 12th fret, you get that. You get your root note back. That's an E. You could bar it with your 3rd finger if you want. So if you're doing a jam, you can always go up to that. You can do stuff like that and mix it up. Now, also from that position though, you got this. And the reason I'm going to have you do it like this, so you got D, 12th fret, 11th fret, 9th fret, it's kind of a stretch, pinky on the 12th fret, E string. Because you can get that suspended 4th chord in there again. So you can do. By just moving your first finger up a fret, right there. So you got all these different choices and options. So that's, I don't know, 4 voicings with adding the suspended 4th, the suspended 2nd, if you got it available. You know, you can create some movement within your funk jams.